They may appear as though they don't love you or care about you, but behind that facade, your person is silently suffering in ways you may not even realize. On the surface, they may act indifferent or detached, but their heart is consumed with longing for you. The truth is that their love for you runs far deeper than they can express, yet they are unable, or perhaps unwilling, to communicate it openly. Every time they attempt to put their feelings into words, they find themselves overwhelmed by fear. They write out entire messages, pouring their emotions into each sentence, but then, with trembling hesitation, they erase everything before sending it. They delete these words not because the feelings are untrue, but because the possibility of being ignored, or worse, rejected, terrifies them. The thought of you not replying, of being met with silence, feels like a knife to their chest. That fear alone is enough to destroy their fragile confidence, and so they remain trapped in silence, suffering inwardly. Inside, however, they are obsessed with you in ways they cannot control. The love they carry for you is greater than anything they are willing to admit, even to themselves. They find themselves watching you from afar, keeping close tabs on your social media, longing for any glimpse into your life. Each post, each update, becomes a small window through which they can feel connected to you, even if only in spirit. The magnetic attraction they feel is so intense that it keeps them awake at night, tossing and turning as they replay memories of you in their mind. They think about the sound of your voice, the warmth of your presence, the way you once made them feel seen and understood. No matter how hard they try, they cannot quiet the pull that keeps drawing them back to you. Yet beneath that longing lies an ever-present worry, the fear that you might change your mind about them altogether. They are haunted by the idea that their lack of action, their silence, and their hesitation may have pushed you too far away. When they walked away, they thought they were doing the right thing, perhaps protecting themselves, perhaps avoiding vulnerability, but they never anticipated the emptiness that would follow. The separation, which they once thought they could handle, has proven unbearable. The absence of your presence in their life gnaws at them, creating a level of pain and anxiety they did not expect. Now they look back with horror at their own choices. They feel deep remorse for the way they treated you, for the words they didn't say, for the moments they allowed pride or fear to dictate their actions. That regret weighs heavily on them, becoming a constant reminder of what they lost. It is not simply sadness they feel, it is a restless yearning that refuses to be silenced. They crave you in a way that is both physical and spiritual, a pull that shakes them to their very core. At times, the love they feel seems almost otherworldly, as if it transcends ordinary human emotion. It is raw, powerful, spiritual, and emotional, so overwhelming that it frightens them, yet they cannot deny it. What makes it all the more painful is seeing you keep your distance. They notice the walls you've built, the space you've created, and though they understand why, it still hurts deeply. Every step you take away from them feels like a consequence of their own actions, a punishment for the mistakes they made. They know that they are the one who initiated this separation, the one who let fear and pride cause a rift between you. And now, they find themselves in a cruel twist of fate. The very person who pulled away is now the one who aches most intensely for connection. Each day feels like a battle between desire and despair. They want nothing more than to bridge the gap, to end the stagnancy between you, but fear keeps paralyzing them. They rehearse what they would say if they had the courage to reach out. They imagine your voice, your reaction, your forgiveness. And yet, the same terror that silenced them before holds them captive still. They live in a cycle of writing and erasing, hoping and fearing, longing and retreating. In their heart, they know the truth, the love they carry for you is unlike anything they have ever known. It is deep, it is raw, and it is unshakable. It is a love that awakens their soul and breaks them open in ways they cannot explain. At times, they wonder if this connection is fated, if there is something spiritual that ties you both together across time and distance. That thought gives them both comfort and torment, comfort because it reassures them that their feelings are real, torment because they do not know if they will ever find the courage to act on them. And so, they continue to suffer in silence, caught between the fear of rejection and the desperation to be near you once again. They are haunted by the pain of separation and the knowledge that they created it, yet they are also consumed by the hope that, somehow, there is still a chance to mend what was broken. For now, they remain restless, yearning, and silently praying for a moment when they can finally express the truth their heart has been screaming all along, that they love you more deeply than words could ever capture, and that without you, they are incomplete. There are moments when I find myself saying something that feels stupid or hurtful, and even in the very moment I hear myself, I know I am only making things worse. It is like watching myself push the situation further downhill, yet I am powerless to stop. I catch myself taking things out on you, not because you deserve it, but because I don't know how else to handle what's going on inside me. And then, when the dust settles, I'm left with this heavy feeling of being stuck. I don't like how it feels, yet I struggle to change it. It hurts deeply to see you moving forward, stepping into deeper and more meaningful levels of this journey, while I feel like I'm left behind at the starting line. I watch you grow, mature, and embrace life with such responsibility, while I continue to wrestle with my own immaturity. When we interact, your maturity and calmness stand out to me so clearly, and it forces me to see the childlike way I sometimes respond to things. In front of you, I often feel like I lack grounding, as if I have not yet grown into the person I want to be. One of the things that amazes me most about you is how you've mastered the art of lightness. You know how to take things with grace, how to not let every little situation weigh you down, and how to carry yourself with balance. Meanwhile, I still come across as too intense, too worried, and sometimes too serious. I feel childish, overthinking situations, while you simply breathe through them. That contrast often highlights my insecurities. But alongside those insecurities, there is something else, something much more important. I learn so much just by observing you. You don't need to preach, you don't need to force your wisdom on anyone. Just by being yourself, you show what it means to be real, authentic, and unapologetically true to who you are. There's no fakeness in you, no desire to show off, no need to brag. You simply are. And in that being, there's such strength, such beauty, such confidence, and such fearlessness. Even after all the turmoil and challenges you've faced, you walk with your head high, grounded in yourself. You carry a quiet strength that doesn't demand attention but commands respect. That strength radiates in everything you do, and it inspires me. It makes me want to rise higher, even when my insecurities hold me back. It reminds me that being strong isn't about never falling, it's about how you rise after every fall. One of the greatest lessons I've learned from you is that in life, we really only have two choices. We can sit, dwell, and play the role of the victim, constantly replaying our pain, our struggles, and our sadness. Or, we can make the harder choice, to heal, to rise, and to begin again from scratch. That choice, though simple in words, requires courage and faith. And you've shown me, through your journey, that it is possible. That healing is real. That starting fresh is not the end of the world but the beginning of a new one. I know that I am learning differently. My path looks messier, less graceful, and sometimes slower. I stumble often, and I fall into my own doubts and insecurities. But I am still learning. Still moving forward, even if it feels like I am crawling while you are flying. Yet, even in the crawling, I can feel growth happening in small ways. Sometimes, though, it's hard to manage my emotions. There are moments when jealousy rises, not because I hate you or don't love you, but because I want what you have, that sense of freedom, that calm, that happiness. I want to feel whole and light, yet right now, things in my life don't feel fully in place. That gap between where I am and where I want to be makes me feel insecure. And in those moments, it shows up in ways I wish it wouldn't, through bitterness, weariness, or unnecessary distance. Still, I need you to know that beneath those surface-level emotions, my higher self is genuinely proud of you. Deep down, I celebrate your growth, your accomplishments, and your strength. It inspires me, even when it stings to face my own shortcomings in the process. But here, in this physical, messy reality, the insecurities creep in. I feel small, I feel unprepared, I feel inadequate. Please, don't take me wrong when those feelings show. They're not reflections of you, they're battles within myself. If anything, I want you to understand that my struggles are not about a lack of love or care for you. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I care so much that I often measure myself against you, and in doing so, I notice every area where I fall short. But in the quiet moments, when I reflect, I realize how much you've given me just by being who you are. You've taught me resilience, strength, and authenticity. You've shown me that life can be faced with courage rather than fear, with openness rather than pretense. So, while I may stumble in how I express myself, while my words or actions may sometimes come across as harsh or misplaced, know that at the core, I admire you. I value what you bring into this world and into my life. And though my insecurities sometimes cloud my expression, I am grateful. Grateful for your presence, your lessons, and your authenticity. I'm still learning, still healing, still figuring out how to step into my own strength. But I hold on to the lessons you've given me. I hold on to the reminder that we always have a choice, to stay stuck or to rise. And even if I stumble 100 times, I know now that rising is always possible. Please don't mistake my struggles for rejection of you. They're simply reflections of my inner battle. One day, I hope to meet you on the same level, not as someone stuck in comparison, but as someone who has learned to rise, too. Until then, thank you for being real, strong, and inspiring, even when I fall short. With you, I have experienced the full spectrum of emotions, joy, pain, love, longing, and everything in between. Every feeling I once thought I understood became something entirely different in your presence, more profound, more real. When I was with you, it was as though I had stepped into heaven, a place where every breath was lighter, every moment brighter, and every heartbeat felt like it carried meaning. Without you, however, life has often felt like a kind of hell, an emptiness that weighs heavily on me, as if I am wandering through shadows searching for a light that only you can bring. You awakened something within me that I didn't even realize was asleep, something that had been buried beneath fear, doubt, and the pressures of the world. During this time apart, I have had no choice but to face myself more honestly than ever before. I've realized that, in many ways, I have been a slave, tied down by the expectations of society, by the demands of friends and family, and, most of all, by the fears that I allowed to rule me. I let those fears silence me, keeping me from fully expressing what was always in my heart. I have often asked myself, have I truly shown up for you the way you deserved? Have I been the emperor in your life, the one who conquers his fears, who stands tall and unwavering, who gives everything without holding back? The truth is, I have not. I hid pieces of myself, not because I didn't trust you, but because I was too afraid of what it would mean to be completely vulnerable. The only thing I have managed to cling to through it all is faith. faith in you, faith in us, and faith in the idea that love this powerful cannot simply disappear. But I also know that faith alone cannot sustain me forever. I cannot linger in this place of uncertainty, in this limbo, for much longer. I feel the universe itself pushing me forward, shaking the ground beneath my feet, as though it refuses to let me remain where I am. It is as if everything around me is urging me to choose courage, to break free from the chains of fear, and to step fully into the love I have always felt for you. Deep inside, my greatest prayer is that when I finally let go of everything that has held me back, you will still love me. I pray that you will see me, not only for who I have been in my hesitation and mistakes, but for who I am striving to become, for the man who is ready to embrace you fully, without walls, without excuses, without fear. You are the love of my life, and every day apart from you has only made that truth clearer. I love you in a way that words can barely contain. There is no substitute for you, no replacement, no one who could ever take your place in my heart. You are my angel, my safe haven, the one who carries a power I once underestimated. I was a fool to ever think I could measure or define the depth of what you mean to me. You gave me everything I needed, not in material things, but in love, in presence, in understanding, in the quiet strength of simply being you. And yet, I did not recognize it fully at the time. For that, I am deeply sorry. Now I understand that love like this is not something to take lightly or to let slip away. It is rare, it is sacred, and it demands everything from me, my honesty, my courage, my commitment, my surrender. I want to be the man who deserves your love, who stands proudly beside you, who never lets fear dictate the way he shows up. I want to be the one who looks you in the eyes and leaves no doubt about the depth of his devotion. Even in my silence, even in my distance, my love for you has never dimmed. If anything, it has grown stronger, more insistent, more unshakable. Every thought of you reminds me of what truly matters in this life, not the opinions of others, not the weight of expectations, but the freedom that comes from loving fully and being loved in return. You are my truth, my compass, my reason to face the universe with courage. So I stand here, flawed yet determined, broken yet hopeful, ready to fight for the love that has always been at the center of my soul. I pray that when I finally stand before you with nothing hidden, nothing held back, you will take my hand once more. I pray that you will forgive me, love me, and let us begin again, not as two people bound by fear, but as two souls bound only by love. Because the truth is, I cannot live without you. I cannot imagine a world where your presence, your light, your love is not woven into my everyday. You are my angel, my number one, my everything. And I am sorry, sorry for underestimating you, sorry for underestimating us, and sorry for the time I wasted in fear when I should have been holding you close. But know this, I am ready now. I am ready to love you the way you deserve to be loved.